Hey guitar nerds, Brad from Simple Guitar here. Are you tired of feeling like your rhythm is holding you back? You know the drill, right? You memorize strum patterns, but the second the song changes or you jam with some other folks, it all kind of falls apart. So what if I told you that there's a way to build unbreakable rhythm confidence without relying on patterns as a crutch? In today's lesson, I'm going to share a game-changing exercise, actually a series of exercises, inspired by drum rudiments that have transformed my students' playing. Now, this particular thing just came up this week in a coaching session with one of my students in my Simply Confident guitar coaching program. And it reminded me of when I was teaching drums at my music school. One of the warm-ups I would do with students often was a warm-up made of 16th notes, where we would play a full measure of 16th notes on a drum pad or a snare, and then we would remove one stroke for each beat, and that was it, right? And I had a student who was struggling with some strumming and rhythm stuff, and we took a similar idea dealing with eighth notes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at a full measure of eighth notes, which if you do that, it looks like this, and then you would strum this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and nice and simple and easy. And a lot of people get used to doing that. But then they later struggle with other strum patterns and they wonder, why is this giving me so much trouble? And here's why. We spend way more time as guitar players on the downstrokes, on playing on the beat, than we do on the upstrokes. So we need to get you used to those. So with our full measure of eighth notes that we have, what we want to do is we want to start removing things. So here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to remove one beat. I'm going to make it a rest. We're going to pull beat number 1 out. Okay. So now we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right? Now you can repeat that. Pause right now if you want to. Repeat that a few more times. What if we remove beat number 2? So let's put beat number 1 back in and we'll remove beat number 2. So we're going to have 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and like that. 1, 2, 3, go. 1 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 4 and stop. Right? And again, if you want to repeat that more, just pause, come back. Okay. Now let's remove beat number 3. So we're going to put beat number 2 back in. So we have 1 and 2 and 4 and. So we're going to remove just beat number 3. We'll leave the and of 3 in there. 1, 2, 3, go. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1. Of course, then I mess up at the end. But same thing. If you want to practice that a little bit more, just pause right now, come right back. Now let's throw beat number 3 back in, and we're going to take beat number 4 out. So we'll have 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and right? Hey, are you tired of sloppy chord changes and feeling like a perpetual beginner? You don't have to be. Join a simple, personalized coaching program with me today at simpleguitar.com/apply. Now let's go back to the lesson. Now, so far, we've removed beat number 1, beat number 2, beat number 3, beat number 4. Why am I not removing the offbeat? Because other strum patterns already do that. When you play just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're just removing the offbeat, right? You're not playing, it's already gone, right? So what we're going to do, and same thing with other patterns. If we play 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we we've removed the upbeat on beat number 1 and on beat number 2, the upstroke on the offbeat. So now let's try removing 2 different strums at the same time. And to keep this simple, we're just going to do beat number 1, beat number 2. Okay, so we're going to do 1 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and. Now, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but this will make your life easier. Remember, you're always doing a downstroke on the beat. You're always doing an upstroke on the and. Okay, as long as we're doing these, that's what it goes. When you're playing 16th notes, that changes a little bit, but for what we're doing today, always down on the beat, always up on and. So removing beat number 1 and beat number 2, it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, and 4, and 1, and 4, and 1, and 1, and 1. Now let's remove beat number 1 and beat number 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. Now you're gonna find it's gonna make this easier if you need to slow it down, if you count out loud what you're playing. And it helps me to keep track of the rests. So I'm counting the rests to make it easier for you. But you have to make sure that those rests are there and that they are the right length. Now let's try removing beat number 1 and beat number 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this might be challenging right now to do this, but let's do another one. Let's do beat number 2 and beat number 4 while we're on it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, okay, now that one's pretty common, actually. You're going to hear that rhythm in songs a lot. So now let's try removing beat number 2 and beat number 3 and see how that goes. 1, 2, 3, go. 1. And now the last one, let's remove beat number 3 and let's remove beat number 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1. All right, so far we've taken turns removing each of the downbeats and leaving in the upstrokes and practicing those, and then we've removed 2 different downstrokes at the same time. Now let's go on to the last one, because with this one, all you have to do is remove all 4 downstrokes. We're just going to play upstrokes, and in this case, you could play this for reggae or ska, and that is it. Because this is, the fundamental rhythm for those. So we're just going to remove all the upstrokes. Now, I am muting the strings. I'm just placing my palm on it. I'm not doing a muted strum where I would also try to strike the strings with my pick as I mute the strings. I'm just muting the strings for the rest, okay? So it'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 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 3, and 4, and 5. Now, like I said, this came up in my coaching program with a student where we were trying to work on his rhythm and make sure his rhythm is down. And I find that a lot of people, if they don't focus on these upstrokes and being able to play just the upstrokes without the downstrokes and play some of these different rhythms, it becomes a lot harder to do stuff. And this makes it way more familiar for you when different rhythms like this pop up in songs. So I hope as you're going through these, some of these rhythms are going to maybe remind you and be like, hey, that reminds me of a song that I've heard before. And then you go learn that song. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that it's going to help your rhythm and help you feel more confident about your rhythm. Remember, if this was helpful for you, it doesn't have to stop here. We can continue this. You can continue learning from me. I do stuff with my students every single week. In fact, I have a membership where we're doing 3 hours of classes every single week. You could be sitting in class with me for 3 hours a week, going over stuff like this every single week in the Guitar Nerds community. Or you could join my online coaching program where I'm working with you one-on-one every single week, and you're also getting to come to those awesome classes. So if you liked this and it was helpful for you and you want more, then I would invite you to join my coaching program or my online community. Go to simpleguitar.com/apply to take the first step, and then go check out this next lesson.